Hey folks, welcome to K6 Outdoors. I'm your host Kyle. Today we'll be planting some blackberry bushes in the yard. We got this 2-pack from Costco, and well, we're also going to be building like a small trellis for it. And you know, these specific bushes are kind of self-supporting, but I want to add, you know, kind of an area for where we can put these blackberries, you know, red raspberries, blueberries, those types of things that actually need a trellis. So we're going to kind of just add on over here to our fruit area. You guys can see here we've got the grapevine, a raised strawberry bed, some asparagus patch here. You know, we're just going to kind of continue down. This is what I did last year. If you guys want to check out that grapevine installation that I did, it's working really well. We're going to be using a couple of green treated 2x4s and some green treated 4x4s to do this next piece. We're just going to make an 8-foot section that's like basically right here, as that's the plan. So obviously, you know, I got to start getting the holes placed. Now, I didn't mark this like I normally would with paint, a paint can, yard marking, and you know, this works just fine. We measured over about 10 feet from the property line using just a tape measure, and this works well for layout. Speed things up a little bit here. You know, we'll dig out most of the holes with the shovel, come back and use the jabbers or the post hole diggers to go down the rest of the way. You know, I'm down about 18 inches or so, 18-20 inches when we're doing this, using these 4x4s. Obviously, we want to get down there a little ways so we have something to bite with the concrete, but you know, at the same time, we're not going to get below the frost line with this, so it's not really that structural where it really matters. Again, using the max here, super helpful. Now we get the tripod set up with the Coyotes laser level, using the grade rod here to set the bottom of the holes to make sure that's even, because you know, if that's perfect, putting the post in on top of that will be as well. Gonna go ahead and throw the top plate on the 4x4s here, screw it together with those GRK Fastners. And you know, and here in live time you can watch me struggle. Probably could have been a little bit more prepared, had my supports already kind of put on the 4x4s. You know, just tamping down the bottom of the hole just to make sure everything's seated per se, and pack it down so nothing exciting is going to happen. And again, you know, bringing over the help. I got my 7-year-old and my 4-year-old, which are professional post holders. And, you know, you would think something like a simple task like this wouldn't be that hard for them to mess up. But I think it's been, you know, pretty obvious that they just can't follow instructions, nor can they work together. So we're going to go ahead and get the supports put on here, one on each end with their help. Then we're going to move on to putting some dirt in the bottom of the holes. Just going to tamp a little bit around the bottom just to give it a little bit of support till we can load the bags of concrete in there. You know, squaring everything up, making sure it's all fine. And adding in some just bag concrete mix. Now, arguably, you should mix this in a wheelbarrow and then throw it in the hole. But I didn't. And obviously, use your better judgment. If you're really worried about it, pre-mix it, just so you can make sure you get all the water penetration you want. Sammy, thanks for helping today.
Welcome.
I got a little red in the cheeks. I'm getting hot. We got this in the ground here. You know, the tops are...
Celery. Can we pick this celery?
That's not celery, sweetheart. That's asparagus. We can pick it when you come back, okay? Go put the watering can away. So anyways, we've got this in the ground, concrete. You know, we had a couple of old bags sitting around. I wasn't going to mix it up and throw it in. We just threw it in the hole and watered it. It's going to get hard. This isn't really structural by any means. It's just trying to add some stability for the posts. So we're going to let this set up overnight. We're going to come back and we're going to add the cross boards across this, which we're going to run we're going to use clothesline, because again, this isn't really so much of a load-bearing thing like the grapevine's going to be, but more just to keep the, you know, the bushes inward so they don't flop out. So anyways, we'll come back in the morning when this is all hard and set up, but so far, you know, it's looking pretty good. Can't complain too much. You know, the max is clutch once again. It just makes life so much easier. All right, All right, we got the crossed, supports off. Concrete is dry, she's stable. Now we're ready to add our, our pieces out here, which we will then take this clothesline kit that I picked up on Amazon and string it across just to give it some, lateral support as these bushes grow up. Now, some of these berry bushes don't require any support. They are self-supporting, but there's some that also aren't. So we're gonna have a mixed bag of stuff in here, I guess is what I'm trying to say. So let's go ahead and we're gonna start cutting the 2x4s, laying them across here. I do have these 5/16 by 4 structural GRK Fastners we're gonna use. Some pretty good sized ones here. Obviously rated for green treated lumber, and they say that it's stronger than a 1/2 inch lag. So, tells you enough about it there. So we're gonna go ahead and get this stuff put together and go from there. These are not the correct boards, but for illustration purposes, I'm gonna show you what we're doing here. We're gonna be putting one that's 30 inches long, about 30 inches off of the ground. Then we're gonna come up another 2 foot and put another one that's a little longer. We're gonna do that so we can get some structural support from the wires. As some of these bushes grow up, they're not very, sturdy by themselves. So we're gonna give it a little bit of, structure. These bushes do get about 5 to 6 foot tall. So really, here more or less is where it's gonna grow up to. Now we use some longer 4x4s and bury them in the ground. But I just thought this was the best way to go. So again, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna place one at 30 inches. I'm gonna come up another 2 foot, place another one. The top one's gonna be a little wider than the bottom one, just so it gives the bush some space to grow out. And we're gonna go from there. We're gonna go 30 inches, 30 inch board, another 24 inches up, another 36 inch board. At least that's the plan. Get my table saw set up over here. Also known as the strawberry bed. Put these bad boys up on here. We're gonna measure them and cut them to length. Now, some of you are probably saying, use green treated. This is. It's just not as green as it used to be. This new AC2 treatment they put on this stuff, it's all, so it's more eco-friendly. Probably isn't gonna last as long. Let's be honest on this situation, right? All right, let's go ahead and cut this off. By doing the 30 and 36 inch boards, we can use an entire 8 foot long board, not having left over. Because, 12 times 8 is 96 inches. Safety squints, full effect. Since I know my top is level, we're going to go off of that to square our line up. I'm actually going to go 24 inches off of the ground. I like the look of that a little better, personally. So that's what we're going to do. The top of our 2x4. Because I am super particular on spacing, we're going to mark the center here. So 3.5 and half is 1 3/4 inches. Our center line. We're going to go ahead and pre-drill or start 2 of these ahead of time. So when I get it up there, I just got to drive them home. And we're going to put them staggered. Instead of across from one another, we're going to stagger them. Like so. Transfer that line around the corner. All right, we got everything squared up, leveled up. Let's go ahead and drive our screws home. Not going anywhere. Some of you out there saying those two little screws aren't strong enough for anything. Well, just to prove you what these two screws can do. Again, that's what those little 5/16 can do. Didn't even move it. We are going to go 24 inches up from this one. And then we are going to add a 36, and I can't even draw a straight line today. We're gonna go 24 inches up from there. Then we're gonna add a 36-inch board. Again, these trees are only gonna get, or these bushes are only gonna get about 5 foot tall. So that's what these packages say anyway. So that's how we're gonna manage that. Again, we've got one that's just about 24 inches off the ground. We have another one that is up here at 4 foot. The tree or the bush is going to grow about 5 foot tall. Now that we've got this side done, we're going to go overhead here and do the same thing. So inside this little kit I picked up on Amazon, I'll put the links down below. Just keep in mind they are affiliate links, and I bought this with my own money. It gives you everything you need. It's got these little turnbuckles, got all the hardware, and even comes with a little screwdriver to put the clasps on the actual wire. Now again, you could have done several different things. I thought the green was kind of nice because then it gives somebody an indicator that something's there. Since it's going to kind of be hanging out in space a little bit more, it gives it a little more, it makes it more obvious that there's something here. You're not going to clothesline yourself. No pun intended. So what we're going to do here, we're going to put them out towards the end. We're going to space them kind of at an angle. I mean by an angle is we're going to put some out here 2 inches from the end and one here 2 inches from the end. Then we're going to run them across both ways. And then we're going to be done basically. I do have a piece of 2x4 left over. So I'm going to go ahead and come down here and just go across the middle for, well, just more structural strength. Why not? I have it. And if I don't use it, it's going to get all dried and twisted up and ultimately not be usable. So we're going to go ahead and hop that on there first. And then we're going to start running the actual support string. It's turning out pretty good. I'm really happy with it. Not bad for an eyeball. I think we're gonna call that good enough. Finish fastening it in. Now, if you're one of those folks that really cares about things looking uniform, then you might put one on the other side. It's gonna be hidden by a bush, so I'm not overly concerned about it. Throw a couple more screws in it. That's gonna get rid of any additional, little wiggle you might have. So for these holes, we're gonna want to pre-drill a small hole. So it's easier to start them. Man, flies are out already. It's not even May yet. Get out of here. We're gonna come in 2 inches. And since we're gonna go to 1 3/4 up. Come in 2 inches from the end. And we're gonna go 1 3/4 up. Put it right in here. Now when sizing your drill bit, you want to keep it smaller than the outside diameter of the screw, obviously. But you really want to be right below the root of the thread there. You want to be down, at that minor diameter of the thread. That way you can get it to bite, but it's not too loose, right? So we're going to go ahead and we're just going to drill that one in here. We're using the the dullest drill I have. I'm just going to drill all the way through it. These are kind of a long screw. We don't want to point out the back though. We're going to go ahead, dropping everything. Going to go ahead and screw it in. You can use pliers. They do sell a special adapter you can do this with. You know, depends what you want to do. Stick a screwdriver through here, but you know, a little pair of vice grips to work really well as well. And we're just gonna drive her in there, and we're gonna go through till it about pokes through the other side, just to give ourselves plenty of bite. We're gonna stop in the vertical fashion. So that's in there not really well. We're gonna go ahead and install the rest of those, and then we'll come back and start installing the wire. All right, we got all the eyelets on there. I'm gonna go ahead and, probably should have done this before, but go ahead and remove the sod quick, and then we'll plant the bushes. And then put the wires across. Last. Watch me struggle and edge through this all by hand. I eventually decided to stop cussing at myself and, you know, be smarter about this. I should have used a tiller on the back of the tractor to begin with, but waved the right flag and got lazy and got the bucket under there to get most of the sod out. It made things quite a bit simpler. And I was able to go back in here and finish out the remainder of it. Just a reminder to work smarter, not harder, and think ahead a little bit, because I definitely did not. All right, Samara, what do you think? Is it looking good? All right, I decided to go ahead and continue on down from the grapevine here. Dug this out so I can, you know, mow up to it easier. We're gonna put the two bigger bushes that don't need to be supported here, and then the two others over here in this section, and then we'll bring the wires across. Mother Nature's trying to want to do stuff today with the weather, so we're gonna do what we have to do to get done with the, well, at least the part that can get muddy. We'll get the mulch on it. We'll come back and add those lines, because, well, obviously that's not gonna grow 5 foot overnight. So let's start going on that.
Don't get my phone ready.
I had to step away and get another shovel for Samara, because that's what she wanted. And apparently she decided to keep trying to do this by herself. Now, obviously, that shovel is way too big for her, and, well, you know, she tried, but obviously she's like, that's good enough. Wait for Dad to come back.
I did the rest.
Good job, Sam. Got lots of help today. All right, well, Sammy, leave that in there. You gotta leave some dirt in there. All right, now we're gonna plant the tree, or the bushes. That look good? All right, girls, let's plant these. These are blackberries. Don't want to ruin them.
Just they want to help.
I know you're doing a good job helping.
They will use this well.
All right, Belly, come shovel some of this dirt back in the hole. Annabelle, come dig some of this dirt back in the hole for me. Hey, be careful, but down here and low. Bring your hands down low. Come here. There you go. Push it in. Just push it in. Just push it in. There you go.
See, why are you making another hole?
It's fine. We're going to need more. Push it in. Need more dirt. Push it in. Push it in here. Be careful. Don't have to be in the face. It's all right. Push, just push it, Belle. There you go, push. Like this. There we go. Here, help me. Any more, push. There we go. Push some more. There we go. All right. There we go. Plenty of dirt in there.
No, I'll work on this hole and you work on the other hole. No, I'm gonna.
All right, so these are what we're planting. This one is the raspberry fall golden. Kind of a neat looking little plant. This one will get about 4 to 5 foot tall. This one's just a thornless raspberry. It's about the same height. And then the ones here are blackberries, which we planted here. These ones are self-supporting, so we don't have to put a trellis around it to where those two other raspberries are. So we're gonna put one here, and then we're gonna put one 3 feet away from it, which is gonna be, grab the other one out of the bucket, Sam. Put the other one.
I'm gonna grab another one.
Yep, bring here. And plant the other one about here. So we're gonna have 2 plants on this trellis because these need some support. You know, they'll be fine, but this is just gonna make it a little nicer for them to grow easier. All right, we have all the mulch in, all the plants in. Thanks, Samara, for the help.
You're welcome.
Okay, so we got this done here. We're gonna have to do a little bit more here. We have a grade change, you know, drops off right over here and then down to here. But we got all the mulch in. We need to come back and add those support strings or support rope, support metal, whatever you want to call it. But we're running out of time for today. I'll have to come back out here tomorrow and do that. So far, it's looking great. Really happy with it. Now, obviously, you can see that this kind of runs around here and then jogs back in. That's it. It's fine. You know, I wanted to make sure I had enough mulch to cover, you know, I'm calling the wingspan of the outside pieces here, so I don't have to mow up to it. And, you know, and I came out here and jogged back up. You know, I can keep my distance in here to get my mower through. And, you know, this is all growing well. The grapes we planted last year turned out well. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments. I'm quite happy with it myself. It's a lot of work and a lot of money for raspberries and blackberries, but you know, I could buy them cheaper in the store, much like anything else you can. But it's nice to be a little self-sufficient, grow your own crops, and enjoy a little bit of this stuff in life. And you know, it's kind of fun doing these projects as well. Last thing we got to do here is put that cable on. Shouldn't take us too long to do that. We'll get that done, wrap this project up, and then see how they grow. So we're on to I can't talk today. We are on to arguably the easiest part of this, which is just running the cable. Again, I picked up this clothesline kit off of Amazon. I'll put links to it below. Nope, not a sponsored video. Just remember, if you use those links, they are affiliate links, and I do get a little commission off this stuff. Generally like 3 or 4%. So not much, but every little bit helps. So I appreciate you all supporting me and using those links below when you do buy this stuff. This is a coated wire, so it's going to have some strength to it. And the entire kit comes with everything you need. Comes with the turnbuckles, comes with all the little inserts and such if you're gonna, you know, need to drill into concrete or whatever. All the little grommets you would use to put the wire together. All right, so this works pretty simple here. I'm gonna assemble one line over to here. Then we're gonna go to the other side and install a turnbuckle. So you gotta install your screws into this little grommet here, whatever you wanna call that. Wrap the wire around your support piece. And then back through this hole here. Now, whichever way you decide to do this, I'll let you decide. But that here is how you're going to do that. Now on this side or on this side, now on this side over here, I'm just going to loop through here. Get you guys a bird's eye view in here. We're going to go ahead and loop this through here because that's how it's going to be when we finish the install. Go ahead and get this all spaced where we want it. Feed it all through. This side's actually a little messed up from the factory, so we're going to need to adjust it. A pair of vice grips out. Here, open that up so we can get the wire into it, like so. Okay. Nothing too special. Just like that. And we'll tighten those screws. Because I'm lazy, I'm not going to use the little screwdriver that came with it. We're just going to give her all we got with the impact here. Just to hold it in place. That little feller's going nowhere. Now we'll run the cable down here, find out how we want for a length, and cut it off. Just like that. And we'll tighten those screws. Because I'm lazy, I'm not going to use the little screwdriver that came with it. We're just going to give her all we got with the impact here. Just to hold it in place. That little feller's going nowhere. Now we'll run the cable down here, find out how we want for a length, and cut it off. A roundabout-ish length of what we want. Remember, we're going to have that turnbuckle on there, so I'm just going to run the wire to the end here, and we're going to cut it off there. Get yourself a good pair of snips. These are some Midwest snips. I had some of the cheap Chinese ones. They just don't last very well. So do yourself a favor, and me, and use the link down below for some of these. Get this little feller here. We're going to go through all of this, and then we're going to onto there. So just trying to get an idea on length is what I was trying to do here. Extend this out a little bit so we give ourselves some adjustability. Now obviously this isn't my grandma's 80-year-old clothesline rod that sits so crooked that it's not even funny. But I'll tell you what, that thing stood the test of time, and things just aren't built the way they used to be. Let's be honest. I mean, I don't even want to show you guys this, but some of the screen treated lumber down here looks like it could have been the bow of a ship. It's so crooked, but that's what you get nowadays with, with what you buy. Stuff just isn't the same. Just isn't. Go ahead and drop that through there for the cable. Get myself an idea where we want to be here. Run our cable clip back up this way. Slide everything through. Go ahead and get this all situated. We're going to go ahead and tighten this down. Then we'll bring that turnbuckle in. Could certainly use the screwdriver that comes with it, but just use what I got out here. All right, so we kind of got that there. Let's go ahead and tighten her up. By bringing the turnbuckle in. The nice thing about doing this route is if for some reason you don't get this tension quite right with the turnbuckle, you just loosen this up. Simple as that. So I got some pretty good tension on that. There you go. We got one of them done. If you're worried about that extra, trim it off, zip tie it on. Doesn't matter. The berry bushes are going to be hiding it soon. It gives you the idea. We got one straight one done. Nice tension on it. We're going to go ahead and do the other three. Let me know what you guys think about this route. I like this. It looks nice and neat and straight and even. Anyway, let's go ahead and I'll put the other 3 together. Well, I think we have the project just done. I think, at this point, we have all these, put together here, give us some nice structure as these bushes grow up. They got some support from not just falling over on themselves, and they can kind of, intertwine between this 2x4 in the middle. This thing is sturdy and going anywhere. I mean, a couple bags of concrete and some dimensional lumber will do that. But as far as this kit here that I use, seems to work pretty well. These little things with the screws to hold the cable in place, I mean, they have a place. They seem to work fine. I would prefer probably use the crimp ones. I know that's more permanent, but it seems like it'd be a little faster. You guys probably saw me struggling to get the hardware all put together. But hey, get you guys a little closer to see it yourself, so you don't have to. You guys can, don't have to take my word for it. So again, so you can see here, we have this all put together, going through each end. Nice, cable, so people don't just run into them. They can see them. Maybe you don't like bright green. Maybe you want to use purple or clear. I don't know, but this is what I chose to use. It was a fair price for the kit. Got the bushes planted here, or the fruits. A couple other ones over here that don't require support. And the nice thing is, by doing this, I've got space that I can just come across if needed. Someone's out messing around on the side. Again, remember we used those 5/16 GRKs here. Super strong. I'd recommend using those. Don't have to even pre-drill. Got it. All nipped up. Same thing on this side. I added a, looks really good in my opinion. We mulched out to just outside of this 2x4 so I can mow along this and not smack my head on it, hit the mower on it, so on and so forth. Well, folks, that's going to wrap it up for today. Wish I could show you the plants being this tall and how it works, but I'll give you an update in the future. Got to wait a little while for these guys to grow. They're just fresh fruited plants. Should get fruit off these next year. At least that's what the box says anyways. It should grow pretty quick. Add a little fertilizer to them and, just encourage them to grow a little bit. If you guys like today's video, I'd greatly appreciate if you hit that thumbs up button. It helps out the channel quite a bit. Lets people know that people like yourselves like this content and tries to put it into their feed as well so they can see what's going on. And if you're not a part of the YouTube family and you're watching this for the first time, I'd encourage you to follow along, hit that subscribe button. It costs you guys nothing, $0 in today's society. That doesn't ever happen for entertainment. Well, I don't know if it's even entertainment. This is more informative than anything, unless you think I'm a funny dude, funny looking guy, funny. Let's just pretend we didn't talk about that. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed today's video, found this informative and helpful. I know that this is something my family's looking forward to, getting some of the fruits off of our property here. Again, the money I have invested in this, I could buy a lot of raspberries or blackberries from the store, but it's nice to be able to walk out to your own backyard and just, it's just nice to pick and eat. Fresh, that's as fresh as it's gonna get. And here in Iowa, we have this nice black soil, so why not? Why wouldn't you do it anyways? Hope you guys learned something from me today or got some ideas off the project. And, that's the intent here on the channel, is I can learn some of this stuff the hard way so you don't have to, or maybe I can, get some of your creative mind thinking of what else to do, right? Take care of one another until next time. Get outside, get something done. 1 hour a day. If you guys go over to RMD Creations or RM3D Creations, he preaches the 1 hour a day, get something done. I didn't get this all done in one day. The video makes it seem like I did it in 15 minutes, but no, it took me several days to do this over time. 1 hour at a time, couple hours at a time. That way you can nip a project in the butt, get it done a little at a time. Sometimes, you know, one big piece is too much, but little bits at a time will help you get there. All right, done talking. Take care of one another. I'll have to stop raining for a couple of days so I can get something else accomplished. Probably ain't gonna happen.